You're watching men's college basketball on ESPN+. It's Black Friday, which means Feast Week is officially over, and on to holiday hoops in the Big Country. Welcome inside Moody Coliseum, home of the ACU Wildcats, who get ready to take on the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs. Good afternoon, I'm Jaden West, joined by Roman Raffelli, and let us be the first to say to you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome aboard. We're so glad that you could join us. And Roman, the Division I Wildcats taking on the Bulldogs out of the NAIA level. This is really just an opportunity for both coaches to put several different players out on the floor and get some experience as we wrap up the first month of the season.
That's all what the non-conference is about. You got a WAC team and a Red River Athletic Conference team here, and they're just trying to get reps, figure out the team, figure out the talent, really run the scheme, and have two different tastes here for the Wildcats. It's a smaller opponent. We've seen a couple of those already this season. Just go out there, run your system, do your thing. And for Jarvis Christian, this is a tough team to go against. They're physical and they're fast. They're confident on the home floor. Just go out there, try to do what you can.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have had a good start to the season, but do face a tough test here today. Let's take a quick look at the impact players for today's game. It's Christian Alston for the Wildcats and Abukar Cease for the Bulldogs. Both these players will be coming off the bench.
Yeah, Cease not starting today after being a fantastic player for this Bulldogs team all season. Only one game outside of double-digit scoring for him. And Christian Alston, he's coming off of one of those double-digit games. He had 10 in the loss to William and Mary. He's been reliable off the bench, had a reliable year as a freshman. Looking to get more out of him, and if they can get his hot hand going early, they're going to be in for some success.
Getting ready for tip-off here inside Moody Coliseum. Men's college basketball back here on Black Friday. Iverson Smith in the center circle for the Bulldogs. Mashai Hill for the Wildcats, and the tip goes the way of the Wildcats, and ACU will start off with the ball.
And Mashai Hill with the start at the 5 spot. No Joseph Scott today for the Wildcats.
Along with Mashai Hill, here's a look at the rest of the Wildcat starters. Yanni Rivera running the point in place of Rich Smith. Zai Wright, Joseph Vincent, and then Braden Hubbard in as well. Braden Hubbard getting the first bucket of the day and 2 points for the Wildcats. Here's a look at the starting lineups. Now for the Bulldogs, Keon Gill, Mark Wise, Aaron Wright. He's been good for the Bulldogs. Noel Duplechain and Iverson Smith to wrap it up. First shot for the Bulldogs is no good, and the Wildcats back on offense with a 2-0 lead. Yanni Rivera running point guard today, typically Rich Smith, as Mashai Hill gets the backdoor cut, but is blocked at the rim and denied. And now the Bulldogs running in transition.
A fantastic backdoor cut by Hubbard, and it's shut down by Smith. It's a fantastic baseline presence that the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs are going to have to continue if they're going to have a chance tonight.
Here's a little floater, a runner type of shot that misses the rim and recovered by the Wildcats. That one shot by Keon Gill. Now the Wildcats working quickly and have another turnover themselves. Coach Tanner wants the Wildcats to work a little quicker on offense than they have in recent years. You're going to see them run more in transition and get more fast break points when the opportunity comes. Rivera outside the arc, out on the wing. Gets to the high post, Mashai Hill. Hill looking for an outlet, he'll hand it off to Hubbard. Hubbard's going to go to the rim, fades away and buries the shot for 2.
Yeah, nice mid-range there from Braden Hubbard there. They're putting a lot of defensive attention on him. As soon as he gets anywhere near the paint, they're bringing the double from the help side. Wildcats are not going to be able to rely on Hubbard as much as usual.
Hubbard, preseason all-conference selection out of the Western Athletic Conference. But he comes out of the game quick here, as we'll see our first sub of the afternoon. Sibo Newton checks in for the Wildcats.
A much smaller lineup now. You change Newton for Hubbard. Chance for the Wildcats to run.
Get it inside to Iverson Smith, who fumbles it around, but still able to get it to go for Jarvis Christian's first points of the afternoon.
Yeah, Smith at 6'10" has a lot of length. He's going to need to use it.
Another turnover forced by the Bulldogs. The Wildcats looking a little sloppy in transition, and that leads to a quick basket from Keon Gill, and that'll cause Brett Tanner to take a early timeout here in this one.
Yeah, not happy with Sibo Newton there. Checked in and just did not have the intensity ready. A mental mistake on one end of the floor leads to just a really slow transition on a breakaway there. Wildcats, not an ideal start.
As this game gets underway, let's take a look at our keys for both teams here in this one, Roman.
Yeah, for the Wildcats, it's play with pace. We talked about, this team wants to play faster this year, play in transition more, but it doesn't mean you have to fly around the court. If it's not there, slow it down, play at a slower tempo, and find the hot hand. Christian Alston's been hot throughout this season. I mean, a couple of different guys have really just found it. Find that guy here today. And for Jarvis Christian, protect the ball. If you turn over the ball a lot against this ACU team, they're going to beat you. How they play, physical, fast on the defensive end, and get shots up. Wildcats have given up some huge shooting games to William and Mary and Texas State, 2 out of their last 3 games. If you can get the shots up, chances are they're going to fall.
Yeah, the Wildcats love to force turnovers. Taking care of the ball is definitely going to be a key for the Bulldogs. ACU's already given up the ball twice, 2 turnovers on the offensive side. And they have the ball here. We're tied at 4. Yanni Rivera going to work. Screen from Mashai Hill. Nothing coming up of it. Joseph Vincent. He's a key player for this Wildcat team, even though not the most proficient scorer, as Newton gets inside but is blocked. Now the Bulldogs in transition. They look like they want to work quick. They get a shot up and can't quite fall into the hoop. But a foul called, and we'll have our first free throws of the afternoon.
Now, Iverson Smith for the Bulldogs has been a game wrecker early in this one. A couple of blocks. We saw one right there that led to transition free throws now, and also a turnover force. He's been great defensively. He's been active defensively. Who's taking a look at it here. Not a lot of contact there from Vincent, but gets the whistle.
Now Aaron Wright at the line. The senior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Came over from Central State University, where first-year head coach Kelvin Gaines was an assistant the last several years. Aaron Wright, the leading scorer on this Bulldog team, averaging just over 16 points a game. One for 2 from the line. Bulldogs lead 5-4 in this one. Just under 17 left to go in the first half. See Isaac Dye on the floor now. He's got the ball over in the corner and turns it over. It's Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, and a different offensive style there for the Wildcats. Trying to get some speed, just find an open man on the perimeter, and the Bulldogs not giving them anything. They force the turnover there. Just Dye and Rivera not on the same page.
Pick and roll from the Bulldogs. Mid-range jumper bounces around, but ultimately rebounded by Zy Wright. Now in transition, Dye underneath, gets the foul called, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
A great rebound there from Zy Wright to turn into transition opportunities. That's his 23rd rebound. He's playing just 16 minutes a game, and then found Isaac Dye down the floor, a really bright spot as a freshman here. He's a little bit older, took a graduate year before coming to ACU out of high school, and it's been a bright spot, a couple of big games for him.
Yeah, originally from State College, Pennsylvania. Played a year at Athletes in Action Prep Academy over in Ohio. It does not count as an eligibility year for the NCAA, so full eligibility remaining, and he chooses to play his first year in a Wildcat uniform. Dye's first free throws of the year, both of them good. Wildcats up 1. Bulldogs working quickly in offense, a lot of open room in the paint, but luckily Horniker got a hand on it for the Wildcats. Now ACU going the other way.
Yeah, Wildcats showed a press there. The Bulldogs broke it immediately, and Horniker was there. Really nice poke out in the paint.
Some quicker ball movement now from the Wildcats. Gets it inside. Zy Wright shot is up and good. Barely touched the net.
Fantastic close-range float there right over the hand of rotating Smith, who continues to be a presence defensively.
We're under 16 minutes here in the first half. Here's a quick steal from Yanni Rivera running in transition. He's up and slams it. And a timeout called by Coach Gaines. Wildcats lead 10-5 early in this one on this Black Friday afternoon. Stick with us here on ESPN+. Back in Abilene, Texas, the Wildcats taking on the NAIA opponent Jarvis Christian Bulldogs, and ACU with an early 10-5 lead. Roman, there's a look at first-year head coach Kelvin Gaines for Jarvis Christian. previously an assistant over at Central State University, has some high school coaching experiences from his native town of Cincinnati, Ohio, and now has another chance here at the NAI level to take the head realm.
And you talk about, you know, everything in college athletics. I mean, it's a ladder, it's a staircase. You gradually work your way up, and he's done that. Now a chance at the helm of Jarvis Christian, and a great opportunity here. He's got a scrappy squad, brought a couple of guys with him from Central State, trying to put something together at the collegiate level.
He went to high school at Creative Performing Arts School there in Cincinnati. Coached there as well. Jarvis Christian's duple chain makes a tough bucket at the rim. And Coach Gaines started an AAU program in cohesion with the schools program there in Cincinnati, and then eventually got into college ball, as the shot there from Isaac Dye is no good, and a nice rebound from the Bulldogs. Aaron Wright, the mid-range jumper, it rings around the rim and falls through for two. Aaron Wright, the leading scorer on this team. Originally from Dallas, Texas, back in his home state. Senior guard standing at 6'3". He's been the heartbeat of this offense for the Bulldogs. Kate Horniker gets it inside and it's kind of wrapped up from behind, and so a foul is called. ACU still with a 1-point lead, 10-9.
I'll take a look at the replay here. The Bulldogs just really ready for the Wildcats to try to come inside with their height. It was Mashai Hill from the get-go, and now Kate Horniker going inside, just really congested. The Wildcats are going to have to find points elsewhere.
Keon Gill drew the whistle. He's now out of the game. A sub from each team as the three ball from Braden Hubbard is good. Shooting at a 30% clip from beyond the arc. The team's leading scorer at 15 points a game. And he's already up to 7 here this afternoon.
A great shot there, knocked down by Hubbard. The Wildcats not getting it inside, had to kick it out, and he took advantage.
Alston pokes it out. An impact player for the Wildcats. Talked about that in the pregame, and now ACU running. Tylen Lewis is in the ball game. He's got the ball right now. You see him there with the floppy hair driving towards the rim. Looks for an outlet, he finds it. Alston goes up at the rim and denied. Bulldogs got a fingertip on it.
And Bulldog defense continuing to give the Wildcats some fits. It's a really nice start for a much smaller program.
Going straight to the basket is Noel Duplechain and draws a foul. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, Duplechain found the lane and he knifed through it there. Gets the foul on Tylen Lewis. Just a little bit of a push. If you take a look at it here, a little bit more contact, but a nice way to get to the rack. That's what Jarvis Christian is going to have to do. Already the second foul called. You get into that bonus early against this Wildcat team, you're going to be in a good spot.
Jarvis Christian has definitely come out running at a very high level pace, trying to attack this ACU defense, knowing that how good it is and how they want to force turnovers when they can. And really, Jarvis Christian has kept the ball in their playmakers' hands, put it on the ground, and dribbled to the rim, and that's how they've had their impact and been able to keep this game tight.
Yeah, the Wildcats really making a lot of moves to the bench early. Saw Isaac Dye, a freshman, in early. Tylen Lewis is currently in, and now they're bringing some of that experience back in with Yaniel Rivera and Joseph Van Zonten. Rivera is a guy that, you know, Coach Tanner has said, you know, brings the composure to the team, the experience, that really calming presence on the floor, and that seems to be what the team needs right now.
Duplechain from Houston, Texas, knocks down his second free throw. Tylen Lewis will bring the ball across half court for the Wildcats. Lewis almost lost it, kicks it to Yanni Rivera for three. It's good.
And that's what Yanni Rivera does best. Find him on the wing. He's gonna knock it down. Just a three-point sharpshooter for the squad. Now 12 of 30 on the year.
Once again, the Bulldogs just attacking the rim, draw another foul. And here's another look at that shot from Rivera.
Now Rivera just knows where to be. Lewis, a great cross-court find. Love to see that presence from the freshman, and Rivera does nothing but knock it down. Been great from behind the arc this season.
Malachi Nelson in the ball game now. He's at the line shooting 2. Nelson, his third year at Jarvis Christian, really one of the only veteran guys on this team. This is a whole brand new roster for the Bulldogs. They have 3 returners. Nelson is one of them. This is his third year, but played in just 8 games last year as a junior. They're looking for him to continue to develop and really grow as a basketball player, especially as a Bulldog. Second free throw is good. Lewis bringing the ball down once again for the Wildcats. Man-to-man defense from the Bulldogs. Lewis looks inside for Horniker. Has the pass off the glass, and a great catch and shoot from Cade Horniker, who got the start against Texas State. Not his best game. He seems to be a really good guy off the bench, though, when he needs to come in and replace Mashai Hill at the 5 spot.
Yeah, and a couple of fantastic buckets, but a couple of fantastic assists, back-to-back possessions for Tylen Lewis, recording an assist. Really nice presence from the freshman guard.
ACU's defense now flying all over the court. And a 3 put up and made from Mark Wise. Kind of a off-the-dribble quick shot, and he gets it to go. Yeah, Wise now with 3 points.
Wise shooting just 14% from behind the arc this season, but he knocks that one down. That's a big bucket for this team.
Bulldogs moving a lot quicker now on offense. Lots of ball movement. Hubbard drives, pulls up, the shot, gets it to go. And when Braden Hubbard really when he finds that mid-range is when you know he's going to have a good day. That's a shot that's kind of lost in current-day college basketball, but Hubbard knows how to do it. As Tylen Lewis gets the steal, goes up and fouled at the rim, kind of got himself trapped underneath the hoop, and he'll go to the line.
And Jarvis Christian knows how hoppy Tylen Lewis is. He got back, didn't allow the dunk there, but they get the foul called.
We're under 12 minutes here in Abilene, Texas. We'll take a quick break, and on the other side, Tylen Lewis will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And we have immediate timeout on the floor.
On the campus of Abilene Christian University, the Wildcats and Bulldogs go at it head-to-head on the day after Thanksgiving. It's a 20-16 lead for the Wildcats. ACU turned the ball over early, but has shot really well when they've been able to contain the ball. There's a look at head coach Brett Tanner for the Wildcats, his 5th season at ACU. Of course, he was here as an assistant for Coach Golding's staff back in the days of, 2 years going to the NCAA tournament, and he's trying to find a way to get them back to that spot.
Yeah, Tanner's been great, taking over for Golding, who, of course, took the job with UTEP, and Tanner's just done nothing but be a successful head coach. I mean, he comes to ACU from Stephen F. Austin, who was their top assistant coach. They went 153-65 in his years with them, including 3 Southland Conference championships, 3 title game appearances. Knows what he's doing. He's finally getting a ball club together that really just plays the way Brett Tanner wants them to play, and he's made a great adjustment early in this one. A couple of turnovers early, really figured out what offense they need to get in.
Yeah, Coach Tanner and Coach Golding got a chance to link up again earlier this week in Jacksonville. Both teams at the Jacksonville Classic, UTEP, ACU. Of course, Jacksonville was the site of the game where ACU upset the Texas Longhorns in the tournament. So some fond memories coming back to Coach Golding and, of course, Coach Tanner as well. He talked about that in the game before William and Mary with Grant Boone. The Wildcats now a little easier of opponent, you would think, but they've done a really good job of attacking the rim on offense. They just haven't shot it as well as the Wildcats, and now they trail by 5, and the Wildcats get the ball back.
And just looking at the floor right now, I mean, it's a smaller school in Jarvis Christian, but the guys on the floor playing at the same level as the Wildcats here, staying physical, not overwhelmed by the speed the Wildcats want to play with.
There's a 3 from the corner, Yanni Rivera. Tylen Lewis trying to get the offensive board, something that the Wildcats have done a really nice job of this season, but can't quite get it there.
And the Bulldogs continue to put pressure on the Wildcats on their offensive end. We're playing really strong defense in the early going.
The Wildcat defense looks a lot sharper and quicker as Tylen Lewis just nudges Jalen Jenkins there and picks up the foul. He'll come out of the game, and Sibo Newton checks back in.
Yeah, taking a look at the replay there, there's a little bit of contact. I mean, I think he just tripped more than anything driving into the paint, but nonetheless, another foul called, and the Wildcats got to be really careful with the bonus creeping up.
Get this one inside to Iverson Smith, who draws the foul. That seems to kind of be the Bulldogs' game plan, is really just get it inside and draw fouls from the Wildcats. See if you can get some of the big guys in trouble, like Horniker and Hubbard and Vinzant. Iverson Smith from Los Angeles, California, the senior forward, shooting just under 52% from the line. His first one is no good. Smith has been in double figures each of his last 3 games. He had a whopping 22 rebounds versus Huston Tillotson and 21 versus Dallas Christian. 14 rebounds in last game against Texas College. Really, they used him to go get the ball off the rim.
I mean, it's early in this season. You've only played 5 games, but he's averaging 14.2 rebounds a game. He's an inside presence, and he's been that on both ends of the floor early for Jarvis Christian. Been a big reason why this game is still just a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, 21-17. Wildcats back trying to extend their lead. Zai Wright swings it to Hubbard. Hubbard for 3. It's good. Braden Hubbard. Just a beautiful shot that barely even touched the net as it went through.
Yeah, straight into the back iron and down. Hubbard just continuing to find ways to score, whether it's inside with a floater from behind the arc with a 3.
Hubbard now 5 for 5 with 12 points in this game. ACU trying to force another turnover, and we're tied up here right on top of the A of the ACU logo. Possession arrow favoring the Bulldogs.
Now we'll take a look at the replay here. Smith and Rivera getting tied up down there. I love it from the big man. Just go get dirty, get on the floor with the guards, see what happens, and they'll retain the possession.
Smith kind of lost the ball, had to get back on it, almost like a quarterback fumbling the snap. Bulldogs back on offense, under 10 on the shot clock, and another foul. Whistles blow once again. Is Yanni Rivera picking up this foul?
Yeah, just a little bit of contact, trying to fake the kind of screen, pick and roll, and drive to his right. Can't get in the way.
It's been a very tightly called game, and so when Duplechain's able to kind of drive in a little out of control, he's able to pick up the foul. But here the Wildcats force a turnover. Hubbard trying to go to the rim, goes up with the left hand and off the glass. It's good.
The guy just can't miss right now. I mean, he's going baseline fader with his left hand, knocks it off the glass and in. Just another spectacular shot from Braden Hubbard.
ACU 5 of their last 6 field goals. Jarvis Christian hadn't had a field goal in the last 2.5, almost 3 minutes of play, is trying to drive down the lane right here. Gets fouled. That's Aaron Wright. Bulldogs just a little out of control on offense, but they're finding ways to get to the line and shoot some free shots.
Yeah, they're getting to the line. That's what matters. I mean, 7 fouls now called in the Wildcats. Take a look here. Seba Newton, just too much contact below the belt there, and now they're in the bonus. You've got a long way to go. If you're Jarvis Christian here, keep doing what you're doing, but you got to knock down your free throws here. If you get to the line and can't convert, it doesn't do you a lot of good.
So Rivera, after picking up his second foul, comes out of the game. We'll see the first of Isaiah Carrillo, the freshman from Abilene, Texas. This is hometown.
And I played this ball just south of Abilene at Wiley High School. Was a fantastic player there. I mean, just did all the things right. 4-year varsity starter, 3-time first-team all-conference. Averaged 13.3, 2, and 3.1 his senior year in 2023. His junior year in 2023, excuse me.
Both shots from the 1-and-1 are good from Aaron Wright, who's now up to 5 points in today's game. See a little bit of a full-court press here from the Bulldogs. They trail 26-19, 9.5 remaining in the first half. Carrillo, that freshman point guard, getting the ball here, back and forth with him, and Christian Alston, who was basically in Carrillo's spot this time last year. He figured it out. Now Alston becoming a key playmaker for this Wildcat team, and Carrillo looking to come into his own as a Wildcat as well.
And Carrillo's season high came against Southwestern Adventist. He had 7 points, but he played almost 20 minutes in that game. Really got to run the point and get a feel for the offense.
Alston drives baseline, gets fouled before the shot. There's Jalen Jenkins against Alston, and Jenkins just kind of got beat and tugs him from behind. Now, Mashai Hill trying to make something happen underneath the basket, loses it, and we got all kinds of bodies on the ground in a tie ball. Wildcats will get it back here with the possession arrow in their favor.
Yeah, nice awareness from ACU knowing they had possession to try to get on top of it there. Mashai Hill just Missed the layup, was contested by Mark Wise on the baseline there, but nice of Hubbard and Hill to get on it and retain the possession in the offensive half.
Now, a quick stoppage of play. Try to clean up the sweat marks on the court right there at the elbow. Keep it from being too slippery out here. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. The Wildcats leading 26-19. Carrillo inbounding the ball for ACU. Trying to run a play, kind of jumbled up right there in a 5-second violation. The Wildcats couldn't get into their play.
Yeah, and that's, you know, what probably is going to come with putting a freshman point guard in the game as early as this one, especially just with how Jarvis Christian has played. They stuffed everything with the Wildcats. I mean, no one was breaking off the ball. There was no emergency. Just throw it into the, you know, the other half of the court. No one did anything, and it turns into a 5-second.
Going straight to the rim once again. A blocking foul called on Alston. The Wildcats now have played everyone we expected them to. Of course, we won't see Rich Smith this afternoon. We won't see Joey Scott. Otherwise, Coach Brett Tanner has already emptied the bench early in this game, which we expected to see. Mark Wise gets to the line. His first free throw of the night is good.
Yeah, Wildcats need to find something here to right the ship. The momentum drifting very much in favor of Jarvis Christian in the more recent minutes.
Wise's second is no good. He's now got 4 points. Wildcats back on offense. Bulldogs have moved to a zone defense here against ACU. Back and forth between Carrillo and Alston. Gets it inside to Hubbard. Finds Mashai Hill on the right block, but his shot is no good off the front iron. People chain with the basketball, going against Carrillo. Picks up his dribble. A deep three here, and it's good. Mark Wise, his second of the night. He's 2 for 2 now from beyond the arc.
Everyone's contributed from this Bulldogs squad. They pull within a bucket of the Wildcats with 8 minutes to go. Wildcats need to find something offensively.
Nice bounce pass from Hubbard to Hill, but Hill can't get it to go once again from the block. He's missed back-to-back shots. And we'll take a quick break here in Abilene, Texas. The Wildcats with the lead, 26-23, but Jarvis Christian trying to crawl back. We'll be right back.
Wildcat fans, do you want to hear exclusive insights from head coaches Brett Tanner and Julie Gunn?
After a 6-0 run from Jarvis Christian, they cut it to within 3 points with just under 8 left to go in the first half. The Wildcats 26, Bulldogs 23. Hey, we know it's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, but we are sure you're at home or enjoying plenty of leftovers. So we asked our crew, what is your favorite traditional Thanksgiving food? And well, you can take a look at the various answers there. It seems like stuffing is a surprising favorite.
Yeah, stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it, it's great. Nothing on the table's bad in my opinion. I had to go with the sweet potatoes, and yeah, my mom does it with the walnuts on the top instead of the marshmallows. It's fantastic.
I went with mac and cheese, but the answer above from our guy on the dashboard, desserts, probably the right answer for all of us.
For sure, you get some pies in there, a little bit of ice cream.
Plenty of cookies, brownies, banana pudding was eaten this week. As the shot from the Bulldogs, no good. ACU now leading by 3, 7.5 left to go in the first half, and Braden Hubbard able to secure it and get it to his point guard, Yanni Rivera. Wildcats haven't scored in the last 2.5 minutes, looking for their first bucket since. Horniker, the short corner, off the back iron, no good. This ball poked out of bounds. And possession will stay with ACU.
Yeah, Horniker with the low corner there. I don't love that shot selection. I mean, he's 11 of 30 on the year now, 11 of 31. I just don't think that's a high percentage shot for someone with those numbers.
ACU gets it back inside to the big man, and he loses it. It falls into the hands of Jalen Jenkins. Back over to Aaron Wright. Duple chain running the point. This one poked away. Good hustle by Christian Alston, but ends up on the ground. They try to get it inside, and a kind of an errant shot from the Bulldogs leads to an ACU rebound.
Yeah, Christian Olsen ramping up the pressure on the defensive end, forces a not great shot.
Braden Hubbard, pretty wide open three, and it is good. He's had a hard time to miss tonight. In fact, he hasn't. Now 7 for 7, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and 17 points for Braden Hubbard.
I don't know what he was eating yesterday, but it must have been good. He's fueled up and on fire here today.
Here's an early three from the big man, Iverson Smith, who gets it to go through for three. 29-25, here's Van Zant inside, up underneath, off the glass, it's good.
Yeah, fantastic backdoor cut from across the court. Yanni Oliveira does a good job finding Van Zant. Not a scorer for this team, really here for the experience and for the defense, because what Joseph Van Zant provides on the defensive end is invaluable to any program. Got a nice bucket there.
Yeah, Van Zant was missed last season after dealing with a arm injury. Took a medical red shirt, got one more year of eligibility. The transfer from Liberty is a key player and a unique role on this team.
And Van Zant was at Liberty for a few years, had some fantastic games and seasons with them, played 96 starts for them, Conference USA all-defensive team, had 32 steals in 2024. I mean, that's ridiculous numbers, and that fit with Brett Tanner's defense. It's a match made in heaven.
He was a big-time scorer in high school, played ball at Midland Christian High School just down the road, but that's not exactly his role in this ACU team, as Bulldogs force another turnover. They trail 6, 5.5 left to go in the first half. Jarvis Christian hanging on here, just underneath this 31 points from ACU. Mark Wise going to work. Give it to Smith, who is guarded by Hubbard. Backdoor cut. Mark Wise gets it underneath and denied at the rim. Another block from ACU. Horniker got a hand on it. It fell back in the hands of the Bulldogs. Then Van Zant got a block. Let's take another look at that sequence here from Jarvis Christian and the ACU defense.
And it started with the offensive end there. A huge block from Jarvis Christian turns into, transition opportunity. They slow it down, which is a good spot to be for Jarvis Christian. But the hands flying all over the place on both ends of the floor here. I mean, Wildcats there, I think, just recorded 2 or 3 different blocks. Van Zant with the most recent one that knocked it out of bounds, which you don't get possession of. That's just fine. It was either a wide open look or a block, and see 3-1 there. Jarvis Christian's really just been the more physical team on the baseline and in the paint so far.
Mark Wise shoots a desperate 3-ball at the end of the shot clock, but no good. Rivera bringing it down that left side. Nice bounce pass to Horniker, who kicks it out. Christian Olsen from 3, but that one's off line, misses left, and airballed out of bounds.
And the shot clock violation forced by the Wildcats, or nearly forced by the Wildcats, is a great sign. This is what this defense wants to do. They want to be physical, fly around the court, and just cause some chaos for Jarvis Christian. But, I mean, so far Jarvis Christian's been great from behind the arc. You see it there. The Wildcats not quite finding the 3-ball yet, with the exception of Braden Hubbard.
Wildcats have a goal of their team, that is to force 15 turnovers each game. Already 5 turnovers forced here this afternoon. Shots no good, they get the rebound. Another statistic that ACU's been really good at is rebounding the basketball, especially on the offensive side. This ball gets kicked out. Another 3-ball, and can't quite get it to go after a couple of bounces around the rim, but there's the offensive rebound.
Now Wildcats really just playing more physical in the last couple of minutes than the Bulldogs here. It's leading to some good momentum built, but if they can't capitalize on those turnovers, on those offensive rebounds, it doesn't much matter.
All bouncing around, shot clock down to 3. Shot from Hubbard, his first miss of the day, but rebounded and put back by Zy Wright, all before the shot clock ticked down to 0.
As Zy Wright, 2 offensive rebounds on that possession and the 2 points himself. That's a fantastic display of effort.
Quick bucket here from Jalen Jenkins. Roman, ACU a couple of games ago earlier this week against UTSA had 19 offensive rebounds, 44 total rebounds on the night. A big win for the Wildcats, and then fell to William & Mary the next day. Went 1-1 in Jacksonville earlier this week. ACU now their 3rd game of the week as Cade Horniker gets a bucket inside. Nice job to get it off the glass.
Yeah, I think at the Jacksonville Classic tournament, the Wildcats really were able to learn a lot about themselves. I haven't had a chance to speak with Coach Tanner, but you have a big win against another mid-major program in UTSA, and then just a tough loss to a William & Mary team that they knew were going to give them some fits matchup-wise, but they hung with it for a bit. Ultimately, fell in a pretty large margin, but now can come out of that tournament, really start to build your program, build some momentum as conference play just around the corner.
Christian Alston sends this one out of bounds after the block. We'll have a break on the court. We'll take a break here as well. In Abilene, Texas, ACU 35, Jarvis Christian 27. Moody Coliseum, Abilene Christian Wildcats and the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs. ACU on a bit of a run. Up to 35-27 is the lead for the Wildcats. And these two teams have played just once before, the Wildcats getting the win all the way back 2014. This time, 91-65 was that final score with the Wildcats coming out on top.
Yeah, a very young relationship between these two teams, but with how the non-conference is structured and just the state of college athletics, I mean, especially in Texas, there's so many teams, but imagine we'll see a few more of them down the stretch between these two. You talk about Jarvis team that's just trying to build a program, a smaller school really working to, bolster the athletics and get some championship culture going, and the Wildcats just looking for games out here in the big country.
The last time these two teams played, it was Jarvis Christian College. Made the transition to the university in their name just a few years ago, back in 2022. Wildcats force the turnover, get the ball back on offense with Tylen Lewis running point now for ACU. Inside to Brayden Hubbard, and a nice pass to Mashai Hill, who sends it home with a monster two-hand dunk.
Yeah, caught the defense off guard there. A chance for the Wildcats to really start to build the offense as this half ends and the next half begins. They were stuffed early, but just a really nice find, Mashai Hill on the baseline.
Quick whistle here. Not exactly sure what happened.
I think they wanted to reset the shot clock. Zyride had full possession, they said, and then it went back to Jarvis Christian, so they needed to give him the fresh 30 seconds.
So 2:19 left to go in the first half. Jarvis Christian basketball. ACU up to their biggest lead of the night, 10 points, 37-27. Mark Wise gets it. Calling for the screen. ACU will switch off defenders. Here's a nice mid-range floater. And it is good, cutting the lead back down to 8 points for the Wildcats. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Pass to Mashai Hill, but he wasn't looking. It hit him in the back, and they turned the ball over. Now in transition, out of control. A lot of contact, no foul. ACU in transition. Tylen Lewis finding an outlet. Hubbard outside, drives the baseline, goes up. Can't quite get it to go off the glass. Offensive rebound attempt for the Wildcats is successful. Isaac Dye getting it in the backcourt and bringing it back across the line. And the ACU bench up on their feet. Coach Tanner calling for the offense to slow it down a bit with a minute and a half left to go.
Yeah, that's what we talked about when we talked about our keys to this game. You can play fast, but you got to play with some tempo and some pace. You can't just fly around.
Free ball no good. Another offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Hubbard can't get it to go. And finally, Smith able to haul it in for the Bulldogs and get his team back with the basketball in their hands. Tylen Lewis guarding double chain driving to the rim, and a blocking foul called against Isaac Dye. Tanner and the ACU fans wanted to charge. Let's take a look at it. Dye, maybe not quite getting his feet set just in time, kind of threw the right hip into him.
Yeah, moved the right hip forward a little bit there, but then was moving that left leg. He was planted, and then he moved more into the driving lane. He's outside the restricted zone, but not the feet position there. That's a pretty accurate call.
Yeah, Jarvis Christian's done a good job of getting to the line this afternoon, shooting at a 75% clip. Same as the Wildcats, but they've shot 12 free throws. ACU only shooting 4. Right at 1 minute left to play in this first half. ACU starting to find a little bit of momentum, but then as soon as they do, Jarvis Christian shuts it back down, attacks the rim, gets to the line, and really just slows down the game it seems like the Bulldogs have controlled more of this first half than maybe ACU wanted them to.
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about at halftime. And both these teams, need to make adjustments here, but the Wildcats really have, been dictated throughout this first half. Jarvis Christian got it going early, got hot early, and then have really controlled the tempo and just the narrative of this ball game.
Both free throws are good from Double Chain. Up to 8 points this afternoon. Perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Tylen Lewis passes it across to Zy Wright. Zy Wright getting a decent amount of minutes with Rich Smith out of the game. He was the starting point guard. Here's a kick to Wright. The 3 ball just off the back iron. No good. Ball falls in the lap of Iverson Smith. Smith, a rebound machine for the Bulldogs. And now under 30 seconds left to play, about 7.5 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. And a turnover forced by the Wildcats. Not sure who that pass was to. In transition is Isaac Dye up with the left hand.
And a fantastic, really disciplined drive there from Isaac Dye. Saw the defender to his left, so he went left from under the hoop there. Made it a really tough shot to block and then just used the glass to lay it in.
8-point Wildcat lead. Bulldogs holding it for the last possession. 5 seconds left on the game clock. At 2, Mark Wise forces the shot and blocked by Tylen Lewis to end the half. First half is complete. Wildcats 39, Bulldogs 31. We'll take a quick break and be back to talk during halftime. ACU up 8 points at the midway point. We're at the midway point here in Abilene, Texas, where the ACU Wildcats lead the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs 39-31 here at halftime. And Roman, Jarvis Christian really kind of stepping up to the plate here and really attacking the basket against the Wildcats defense, who have really answered the call, like you said earlier, and have done a good job so far.
Yeah, that's exactly it for Jarvis Christian. They came out hot, came out ready to play and be physical with a really physical Abilene Christian team, and they did it the entire first half. They got ACU in foul trouble early, really got them in the bonus, and then were able to convert on those free throws. A really well-oiled machine through that first half. You're down only 8 at halftime. Now you just got to go finish in the second half.
Yeah, Jarvis Christian got to the line 7 times. They shot 14 free throws. That was a big part of their offense there in that first half, and now just an 8-point deficit as we take a look at our first half stats.
Yeah, the one thing jumping really off the page here is that the Wildcats have 10 assists. Jarvis Christian has 1. Beyond that, it's been a pretty even ball game. Braden Hubbard's been fantastic. He started 7-7, missed his last 3 shots. He's 3 or 4 from behind the arc. 17 points on the board for him. And, Noel Duplechain was really good offensively for Jarvis Christian, but really everybody contributed. I mean, we saw a really fantastic start from Iverson Smith on both ends of the floor. He's got only 5 points, but he's been a force on both ends, really protecting the paint, protecting the rim, making it difficult on an AC team that really wants to work inside out.
We knew the point guard position would be a little bit of a question mark for the Wildcats. Rich Smith not playing today, so we've seen both Zy Wright, Yanni Rivera kind of running the point, and then also Tylen Lewis, the freshman. He's been a bright spot. He's taken care of the ball, not turned it over. We'll see what that looks like in the second half. I'll be interested to see how those 3 guys start to mesh with the rest of this offense.
Yeah, and Zy Wright really got rolling towards the end of that first half there. He had, a few really nice offensive rebounds, kept the spark alive on the offensive end for the Wildcats, but look at the guards for Jarvis Christian. No Abu Karsis today. Haven't seen him so far. He had 4 points last time out against Texas College, but then every other game this season been in double figures. That's a scoring presence that they're missing here. Not sure if he's dealing with an injury, maybe a bit of a behavioral thing with the team. No official statement from them, but that's a name you'd love to see in the second half if you're Jarvis Christian.
Yeah, he was our impact player for Jarvis Christian prior to the game, and mainly because the last time they played a Division I opponent, which was Incarnate Word, he shot 10 3-pointers, only made 2. Not great offense from him, but he's typically a guy that can shoot his way out of a slump, and for Jarvis Christian to only be down by 8 points and for Cease not to play, I mean, that's a win in my books as far as the first half is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he scores almost 13 points a game. He had 19 in game 1 of this season. Just a fantastic score for the Jarvis Christian team, who's found a way to stay afloat without him. Props to them. It's been a team effort. They've utilized a lot of that bench and done it in a few different ways. Just been physical in the paint. Braden Hubbard able to get over there. He's been throughout the bag, a little bit from behind the arc, a little bit on the board, and then some mid-range from him too, but the defense from Jarvis Christian has really forced this Abilene Christian team to to get what they're taking.
Yeah, looking at these first half highlights, one thing that really sticks out is how well the Bulldogs are attacking the basket. You're going to see two main things. You're going to see them driving in the paint and laying it up off the glass. And for the Wildcats, you're going to see Braden Hubbard just absolutely burying shots beyond the arc, inside, mid-range. He's done it all here today, and that's what's contributed to his early 17-point performance in this one.
Yeah, and Mark Wise and Aaron Wright have been fantastic scorers for the Bulldogs early in there. If they can continue to score in the second half, maybe get to the line a little bit more for each of them, are going to be in a really good spot late in the game.
Just a little over 5 minutes left to go in halftime. Both teams still in the locker rooms, but they'll be out shortly, and we'll be back for more basketball in the second half while the Wildcats lead 39-31 here on ESPN+. Nearing the end of halftime here in Abilene, Texas, the Wildcats with an 8-point lead. Of course, Roman, Braden Hubbard was great, 17 points in that first half, but the rest of the Wildcats maybe not as dominant as they would have liked to have been in the first half of play. What does ACU need to do going forward to really get out of here with what they feel like is a very secured win?
Yeah, we talked about it early. It was find the hot hand. That was one of our keys to this game. They haven't really gone to one consistent guy. Yanni Rivera hit his first shot, missed 3 after that from behind the arc. I missed 2 from behind the arc here, but ACU just got to dictate and control. They let Jarvis Christian really take the reins in that first half. Didn't do that, but then you also want to get the young guys reps. That's what these non-conference games are for. And Jarvis Christian, just keep up what you're doing. An 8-point deficit at halftime, you'll take that against this Abilene Christian squad and limit the offensive boards. We saw a few possessions for the Wildcats really just continue to snowball, get a few shots up. If you're getting 2 or 3 shots up in a possession, whether it goes in or not, that's successful. Jarvis Christian needs to limit that if they're going to crawl within the gap here in the second half.
The Bulldogs kept it close in that first half. Competitive basketball was played. They're going to look to do the same thing on the other side. We'll take a quick break and be right back for more basketball. We're ready to begin the second half here in Moody Coliseum. It's Black Friday. Thanks for joining us, Jaden West, joined by Roman Raffelli, in the battle between the Wildcats and the Bulldogs from Jarvis Christian. Jarvis Christian getting the ball to begin this second half. Triple chain, but a nice 8-point performance, a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. He'll run the point for the Bulldogs. The pass goes inside. Keon Gill kicks it back out. Teams flip sides. Jarvis Christian now going left to right. The drive from triple chain high off the glass and falls through for 2 points. He's up to double figures here this afternoon.
And the biggest mistake there, Joseph Enzant gave him the baseline. He still played really tight defense, forced a tough shot, but Triple Chain just knocks it down.
Wright, Venzant, Hornucker, Rivera, and Hubbard on the floor. No Mashai Hill to begin the second half. Hornucker gets it inside, spins, nice post move. Doesn't even need the glass, and he gets it to go.
A nice little hook shot from the baseline corner there. That's a great find from Cade Hornecker in a tough matchup there with Smith down low.
Keon Gill tripped and fell down. Called the foul against Wright. Fans not happy with that. Neither is Brett Tanner.
Yeah, that's Wright's second here. The Wildcats got in foul trouble, gave the bonus away with over 10 minutes to go in the first half. You can't do that again in the second.
The inbounds pass straight into the hands of Cade Hornecker, who knocked it down just on top of the baseline, so Bulldogs keep the possession.
Yeah, it was so straight to him, it looked like he was a little bit shocked that it was just right in his hands, but couldn't secure it on that baseline.
ACU has gotten the lead out to 10 points, but not for long. He forced a turnover here. Wright was guarding Aaron Wright, and Aaron stepped out of bounds and gave the Wildcats the basketball back.
And it was a fantastic communication on the switch from Wright and Braden Hubbard. They screened at the top. Wright immediately knew he had to follow Braden Hubbard's man to the corner and then just over-pursued him, but forced him towards the boundary and ultimately made him fall out of bounds.
Yanni Rivera to Hubbard, inside to Hornecker. Hornecker goes up and slams it with 2 hands. Cade Hornecker with a quick 4 points to begin the second half. We saw Mashai Hill get the start at the 5 spot in the first half to begin the game. Hornecker gets it here coming out of halftime, and he's made his presence known with a big 4 points to start.
And Iverson Smith tried to stand in the way, but just got taken over by Cade Hornecker.
Joseph Van Zandt pokes this one out. It gets into the hands of Yanni Rivera. Now the Wildcats starting to really play their game. They're forcing turnovers and they're getting it inside as they try to once again. Hornecker, but he's fouled by Mark Wise.
Now it looks like the halftime message from Coach Tanner was, let's get the ball to Cade Hornecker down low. Take a look at the pass here. That's just a fantastic find for Braden Hubbard, and then a big-time finish from Cade Hornecker.
Hornecker stands at 7 foot flat. Redshirt junior from Amarillo, Texas. Had a quick stop at Southern Illinois before coming to ACU, his second year in a Wildcat uniform. 4 out for the Wildcats. Hornecker flashes up to the high post, sets the screen. Rivera shoots with no time left on the shot clock, and it is off on the right side. Rebound by Smith and a foul called.
Yeah, just a really nice defensive possession there from Jarvis Christian. They let the clock run down, put some pressure on Yanni Rivera to make a decision, and that ended up just being a really low percentage step back from well behind the arc, 3-point shot.
Smith kind of shoved his guy on the rebound, so he gets the foul, ACU's ball. Yanni Rivera driving baseline, the double clutch shot around the hands of Smith, but Iverson another foul, back-to-back really quick. A couple of fouls there from him.
Yeah, the Wildcats coming out of halftime attacking Iverson Smith, trying to get him into foul trouble. He was a presence down low and in the paint in that first half. They can limit his effectiveness in the second half. That'll probably put them in a game that they should be successful in.
Sure, Brett Tanner was not thrilled about the score, or really about the way his Wildcats played in that first half. Kind of getting pushed around a little bit and not dictating how this game was going to go. So ACU has definitely come out and made it a point of emphasis to control the ball, and they want to get to the line just like Jarvis Christian did in that first half.
And we talked about it. ACU should control and dictate this ball game on their home court. You're the bigger team. You're a little more established with some more talent. It didn't look like it in that first half, but you need to play like it in the second.
Now a 12-point deficit for Jarvis Christian. Trying to shoot its way out of it is Mark Wise. The 3 ball is no good. Now the Wildcats running in transition. Braden Hubbard, spin move, the left hand, no good. Hornecker trying to get the offensive board, but just knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, and that's a case where Braden Hubbard had a lane, had a chance to push the pace there, but just missed the shot and didn't have anyone there to get the offensive board.
Antonio Adams comes back into the game for the Bulldogs. Haven't seen a whole lot of him tonight. A shot high off the glass and a foul called underneath the basket. I believe that was Keon Gill attacking the rim, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And we'll take a look at the replay here. He got Hubbard off balance, kind of beat him, and then just threw up a shot there. Forced a little bit of contact from Braden Hubbard down low. That's a nice find and just a disciplined play.
Keon Gill, originally from Middletown, New York. One of 2 transfers from Central State University that came over with Coach Kelvin Gaines. Mark Wise did, and then also now Gill as well, the junior guard. Stands at 6'1". Got the start this afternoon. In the last game against Texas College, he had 11 points off the bench. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line, but can't get these 2 to go, and it stays a 12-point lead for the Wildcats. ACU starting to find their rhythm offensively, pounding it inside to Hornecker, who turns the ball over there. It's taken away.
A nice adjustment in this second half by the Bulldogs. They saw that Hornecker was getting the ball a lot on that baseline. They've quickly kind of trapped him down there and limited his usage just in a matter of a couple minutes.
ACU really putting some outward pressure on this Bulldog offense out beyond the arc. A quick 3 taken, but no good. 3-minute scoring drought for the Bulldogs. ACU on a 6-0 run over that span, and a foul called as Joseph Van Zandt takes it to the hoop.
Yeah, attacking Aaron right there, down on the wing. Nice find from Joseph Van Zandt there, and he'll earn himself a trip to the line.
Van Zandt 5 for 9 from the charity stripe this season. His first free throw of the day coming up. 12-point Wildcat lead, 16:20 left to go. It was an 8-point lead at half. Cade Hornecker came out and got early 4 points. Van Zandt's free throw is no good. Jarvis Christian did a great job getting to the free throw line in the first half. We're 7 for 14. ACU now 6 for 8 after the second from Vinzant falls through. Full court pressure here from the Wildcat defense. They back off.
That's an interesting choice not to keep pressing there. They had him in the corner with Vinzant, one of your best defenders.
Looks like Vinzant just got an arm too far into the body of Duplechain and picks up the foul.
Now we'll take a look at the replay here. A little bit late there. It wasn't a ton of contact between Vinzant and Duplechain, but he gets the whistle.
His third foul of the afternoon, so he's out of the ball game, and Isaac Dye, the freshman from State College, Pennsylvania, checks back in. This pass over the top, stolen by Braden Hubbard. Hubbard goes up and slams it with one. Hubbard's first points in the second half. He had 17 in the first half of play, and now up to 19 after the slam.
And that's a nice find. He was playing some defense up at the top of the key on the inbound play and looked up, and the ball was just in his lap, able to cash that one in transition.
Jalen Jenkins, a quick mid-range jumper around and out of the hoop, rebounded by Hubbard. We're now under 16 minutes left to go in the game. Yanni Rivera, the step-back three, high arcing, but no good. Off the front iron, an offensive rebound by Hubbard, and the up and under layup is good for 2 more points. Timeout on the floor, 15 and a half left to go. Wildcats lead 50-33, and Braden Hubbard making his presence known in this game. The one-hand slam, the offensive rebound. Braden Hubbard, he's got 19. ACU coming out firing in the second half, gets their lead up to 17 points, 50-33, leading the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs, the NAIA opponent. If the Wildcats can hang on to this win, Roman, that'll be Brett Tanner's 75th win of his career here at ACU. A little trivia for you. Do you know who the next on the list is for all-time wins that Coach Tanner needs to pass?
I don't know. I know Coach Nutt is the all-time leader. I know Joe Golding was here for a while and was really successful. I mean, 2 March Madness appearances. You had, Jalen Franklin, a couple of really nice players on that team. I imagine Joe Golding is still a bit ahead. Tanner looking for his 75th. It's got to be between Willard Tate and Carney Hatch. I'm not too sure. I'll have to think about it as we go.
Yeah, we'll have the answer coming up in a moment. Of course, Joe Golding now at UTEP, but a very successful head coach in his tenure here at ACU. But a nice bucket there from Aaron Wright, up and underneath. And Yanni Rivera right at half court, steps back, but gets the foul drawn from Noel Duplechain. We're gonna take another quick break here in Abilene. ACU, a 15-point lead, 50-35 in Abilene, Texas. Second half basketball, about 15 minutes left to play in this one. And the Wildcats leading 50-35 over the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, take a look at their upcoming schedule. They are already into conference play. It's a 12-team conference in the Red River Athletic Conference. Jarvis Christian played their first conference game last time against Texas College, got the win. They're up to an early 1-0 start in conference, and now December is filled with just more schools on the schedule that they need to go and really have a good December against.
Yeah, it's an interesting schedule to compare, the NAIA to the Division I level, because the Wildcats won't start conference play until the new year. I mean, January 1st, they'll play Utah Tech. That's their first. But for Jarvis Christian, you're in the thick of it. You had your adjustment period. You learned some in really just 3 or 4 ball games that you really got to go attack in conference play. And, I mean, they've already got a 1-0 record in conference play, so it's a good start for them.
They looked good against Texas College. They won 88-54. Aaron Wright with 20 points, 4 for 7 from beyond the arc. Bulldogs really haven't shot the 3 ball a whole lot, especially in the first half. They're now 2 for 6 on the game. As what a shot at the end of the shot clock. Braden Hubbard, the mid-range floater.
Yeah, Hubbard just had a bit of a mismatch on the wing there, knifed his way in, found the baseline, and then just a really pure float shot.
Jarvis Christian picked to finish 10th in the Red River Athletic Conference. 12 teams in that conference, and now a turnover forced by the Wildcats. Braden Hubbard running in transition, kicks it out to Isaac Dye, who gets it to go from 3. Dye, his first 3 ball of the afternoon, now up to 7 points.
And that's exactly what they know they're going to get from their freshman there. He had 20 against Southwestern Adventist. It was a lot of the 3 ball there. I believe he had 5 made threes in that game.
6.
Fantastic performance there from a young freshman. You know, just an opportunity to continue to work him more like we talked about.
Yeah, 6 3-pointers, tied ACU's in-game, single-game record for most threes made in a game. Colby Tanner previously held that. That's Coach Tanner's son. Happened last year. And here's a look at that 3 from Isaac Dye, the sharpshooter freshman from State College.
Yeah, fantastic shot knocked down there. Braden Hubbard knew exactly where he was, just sitting on the wing, ready for it, and knocks it down.
Coach Tanner, he really likes Dye. He was kind of joking in a press conference a couple of weeks ago. Of course, Isaac Dye's dad and Brett Tanner played high school ball together. Dye gets another one to go. Back-to-back 3-pointers from him. He's got the hot hand now. But yeah, Coach Tanner and Isaac Dye's dad played high school basketball together, and he made fun of Dye's dad for not being a shooter and was glad that his son could shoot the 3 ball a little bit better. A couple of attempts here from the Bulldogs and another offensive rebound, but Iverson Smith can't get it to go. And ACU throws this one away, and Brett Tanner slams the ball, not happy on that one.
Yeah, really displeased with that one there. Braden Hubbard got pressured, bringing it up the middle. Had to get it out in front of Zyrite to keep it away from the Bulldogs, but sent it too far in front. But how about Isaac Dye? Check back in and knock down a couple of threes, really expand this lead Wildcats have controlled in the second half.
Yeah, he's now into double figures, kind of gets beat on the back door there. A nice cut from Aaron Wright, getting the pass over the top and laying it in for 2 points. Right now up to 9 points. He's the team second on the team. Double Chain's got 10. Quick ball movement from the Wildcats. And a foul called as Zyrite took that one to the rim.
I think they're going to get Mark Wise on it here. That's Keon Gill. Take a look there. Did see a lot. It was more on the entry than the finish.
12.5 minutes left to play. ACU leading 58-37. There's the 59th point. Zyrite making his first of 2 free throws. Right, his 5th school in 5 years. He started at Polk State College, then took a trip to Chadron State and UTPB over in the Permian Basin, and then was at Gordon State prior to coming to ACU. He had a good year last year with Gordon State. He was a first-team all-conference selection, averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds a game. He had 3 double-doubles. Now a little out of control here is Keon Gill.
Yeah, Gill just kind of outran Tyler Lewis, was trying to go backpedal into a shuffle there. Beat him, was knifing in, just kind of stopped at the free throw line there. No Braden Hubbard inside. He's checked out, so it could be a little bit more physical in the paint entry.
The inbounds pass off the foot of Zyrite, and some good hustle here by 2 different players. Van Zant for the Wildcats and Wise for the Bulldogs.
And maybe a little bit of a scary sight for Coach Tanner, seeing Joseph Van Zant with a bum shoulder diving around on the floor, but that's just how much he cares about this team. Wants to lead by leadership. And I mean, I talked to him about that shoulder. He said he's got it all figured out. They've got a really tight kind of brace sleeve on it now. Said that, you know, it's not going to be an issue moving forward, and clearly he's confident in that.
Yeah, you see that compression, kind of different colored sleeve on his right shoulder. That was the issue last year when he missed so much time. Was able to get another year of eligibility out of it. Now Mashai Hill with a nice jump stop and up off the glass on the left side.
And Van Zant had dealt with that shoulder issue for a while. I remember it became like dislocated in the middle of a game last year. He just walked into the tunnel, put it back in, and really freaked out Coach Tanner, but no issues anymore.
Isaac Dye can't quite get it to go after getting the steal, but an offensive rebound. Tylen Lewis finding the outlet. And quick pass inside. Mashai Hill not quite ready for it. We've seen that a couple of times. And Keon Gill now a crazy acrobatic layup that's no good. Isaac Dye making an impact here in the middle of the second half. Couple of 3 balls, some good defense on the other end of the court. And now Tylen Lewis will slow it down for the Wildcats.
A really mature decision there to slow it down, set up the half-court offense.
Pump fake from Zy Wright, in with a floater over his own teammate in Hill and also Iverson Smith, and it falls through.
That's a great job. We talked about, controlling the pace. You can be fast if you've got the numbers and the setup for that, but if not, be aware, slow it down, don't force the quick offense.
Going right back inside, ball is tipped, got his own rebound, that's Aaron Wright. He tried to kind of shoot it over the backboard. And a whistle blows. We're under 11 minutes now here in this game. We'll take a quick break as ACU leading 64-37 over the Jarvis Christian Bulldogs. Just outside Moody Coliseum, the action happening inside. The Wildcats and Bulldogs in a head-to-head matchup on this Black Friday afternoon. ACU leading 64-37. Jaden West alongside Roman Raffelli. Roman, remember the trivia question from earlier. Did you think of your answer?
I'm going to go with Joe Golding. He won a lot of ball games, but maybe he's closer, or Brett's closer to him than I think. Give me Joe Golding.
Is the answer Joe Golding? No. Willard Tate, option C. Golding, 134 wins. Tate, not in the modern era, so, if you go just modern era, you're right. It is Joe Golding.
I'll take that.
So we'll give you half credit for that one.
Yeah.
This finals week's coming up for these student athletes. They're going to be asking for all the half credit they can get on questions they miss, and so we'll grant it to you.
I appreciate the generosity.
Aaron Wright is at the free throw line, the Dallas, Texas native. He gets his first free throw to go. Wright leading the team in points per game with 16. Here this afternoon he's at 11 with another free throw coming up. That one's good. Make it 12 points on the day for Aaron Wright. He's now 4 for 5 from the line. And he checks out of the game, goes to the bench. And Keon Gill and Noel Duplechain will be the backcourt for the Bulldogs. ACU, Yanni Rivera and Isaac Dye. Braden Hubbard right there with the ball on the logo. Gets it back to Rivera.
Now Braden Hubbard 3 points away from tying his career high with the Wildcats. 4 points would give him a new career high with 27.
10.5 remaining in the ball game. Shot clock now down to single digits. It's at 5. Yanni Rivera kicks it out. Zy Wright driving in. Fadeaway jumper, it's good.
A fantastic shot there from Zy Wright, created some space, knew what shot he had, and then just knocked it down. That's a really nice play. Part of why they brought him in, he's just a guy who can go get a bucket when he wants one, and did a great job of it there.
Enters into double figures now at 10 points. He's got 6 rebounds. He had 3 double-doubles last season over at Gordon State. 10 minutes left to go, Bulldog basketball. 66-39 your score, ACU leads. Duplechain with the ball, tries to get the pass over the top of Rivera, but Rivera got a hand on it. Now Isaac Dye going in, uses his body to shield the defender. Off the glass for 2 points, and he's going to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
And not the three-pointer we usually see from Isaac Dye, but a great job there. He got it out in front to Hubbard. Knew that that's a guy who can go score in front of him. Hubbard didn't love the look. Gets it back to Dye, who drops it and has a chance at the stripe.
He's 2 for 2 at the line already today with 12 points after that made basket. Chance at a three-point play, and he converts. 13 for Isaac Dye, 3 for 3 at the line. Mark Wise with the basketball. Gets it to Keon Gill. Gill the junior, he'll pull up, makes it. Keon Gill with a quick shot, now with 5 points. And his first 3 ball of the afternoon.
Yeah, just kind of sized up Isaac Dye there. He probably thought he had him on his heels a little bit there, worked him in, and then just stepped back and dropped the shot. That's a nice veteran approach to that three-pointer.
Braden Hubbard swings it around to Rivera. Gets his Isaac Dye in the corner, but it's short off the front iron. An offensive rebound by the Wildcats. Braden Hubbard pump fakes, tries to dish it, but good hustle coming from up top. Jalen Jenkins able to poke that one out of bounds and really save a couple of points there for the Wildcats.
And we're seeing a really mature approach from Braden Hubbard. He's the scoring leader in this ball game. He knows that everyone knows that. So instead of taking shots, he's finding open guys because he's getting a lot of defensive attention.
Run a play, try to get it inside to Horniker. Almost able to, but Malachi Nelson pokes that one out. ACU now 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Will be inbounding it from the baseline once again. Back up over the top to Braden Hubbard, but the pass is a little errant. Stolen by Keon Gill, who tries to go with a reverse layup and is fouled as he slams the court in aggression. And they'll send Gill to the line.
Yeah, Hubbard and Dye got back on defense on the turnover. There was a nice turnover forced. Unable to convert there, just too much off the back iron and really frustrated there.
Gill 0 for 2 from the line today. Make it 0 for 3. Gets one more attempt at it on this try.
Entered the ball game shooting 74% from the stripe, but 0 for 3 on the day.
Gill's 4th attempt of the afternoon is good, so 1 for 4 now. Wildcats back with the ball in their hands. 69-43 they lead. Sebo Newton's back in the ball game. He's got the ball, swings it around to Rivera. High post, down low, tipped and stolen by the Bulldogs. Mark Wise running in transition through the ACU defense, lays it in off the glass, and it's good.
Really nice vision from Wise there. Wildcats a little bit disheveled there, deciding the inbounding play.
Up to 9 points is Mark Wise, making a third of his attempts from the field. 8 minutes remaining. Yanni Rivera's got it for the ACU. Kicks it out to the leading scorer, Braden Hubbard. Hubbard inside, going to work against Duplchain. Gets his own ball that he dropped, got poked out, and was fouled while he was on the ground trying to dish it to someone else. And now under 8 minutes. Take another break here in Abilene, Texas. Stick with us for more men's college basketball on ESPN+. Second half of basketball underway. ACU leading 69-45 here as we near the end of the basketball season as far as November is concerned. Both these teams play again on December 2nd. Here's a look at that ACU schedule. Really tough schedule in the month of December. They go on the road, New Mexico State, Arizona, BYU, a couple of really good squads on that list.
Yeah, they'll head over to Pepperdine on Monday. It should be a good one out there, but then a gauntlet in the month of December. You get New Mexico State at home. That's a competitive game for sure, but then you've got Arizona, number 2 currently, and BYU, number 9 currently. BYU just barely lost to Houston a few days ago. A chance that they're top 5 by the time that game rolls around for the Cats. It's a tough test. Both those teams, I mean, you talk about a stud freshman with the Cougars there at 6'9". He's been fantastic. That'll really pose a challenge. A game being broadcast on TNT for the Wildcats, so a cool, moment in the spotlight. But some tough tests, and that's what December's about. That's what Coach Tanner wants this team to be doing, because you get to test your team throughout the non-conference, and then as soon as that calendar turns over to January, they're going to be in conference play.
Yeah, 4 of those 5 games on the road for the Wildcats. They get New Mexico State at home, but the Aggies undefeated right now in the month of November, looking to continue that success in December. It won't be easy for ACU going forward, but it will prepare them for conference play come the turn of the new year. Braden Hubbard's at the line, shooting a free throw, but he misses. ACU leading 69-45. Hubbard, the leading scorer, with 23. He's back in the ball game. There's a tough jump shot from Gill, no good. Offensive rebound, but thrown into the hands of Hubbard. Hubbard in transition. We'll see if he dishes it. He tries to go up with the left hand, but slapped on the wrist by Jalen Jenkins, the junior guard from Columbia, South Carolina. And now Hubbard once again going to the line for another pair of free throws.
Yeah, really nice block here from Jenkins. Just got a little bit too much hand right there. Frustrated with himself. Knew he had a chance for a nice play, but just missed.
Jenkins, a player I expected to see a little bit more of here this afternoon. Just 2 points on the day. He had 8 points in each of his last 2 games. As Hubbard's first free throw is good. Hubbard shot his career high and season high against Omaha back earlier this month, November 6th. He had 26 points in that win over the Mavericks, and a really great win for ACU. And after burying both free throws, he gets up to 25 points, and then we'll go right back to the bench. 7.5 remaining, 71-45. ACU really has picked up the momentum. They've started to score a lot more efficiently, and their defense has been as relentless as we expected them to be now in the second half. And a quick 3 here, Keon Gill, and it is good. Up to 9 points, now 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
And a fantastic shot, just walked up and knocked it down. It's a big bucket for a Jarvis Christian team that's just kind of gone cold in this second half. You had a really good thing moving into the break, and now just 17 points in the second half, being outscored pretty significantly. The Wildcats up over 30.
And we have not seen Abukar Seas here this afternoon, the junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. He was our impact player, but he warmed up in the pregame. We saw him putting shots up, but he hadn't stepped on the floor in this one. He previously played all 5 games, started 4 of them as Malachi Nelson gets the shot to fall, and we'll have an and 1 attempt at the free throw line.
Yeah, Christian also just kind of got beat here, thought he had help, and Cade Hornecker was up on the wing a little bit there. It's a nice way to, get your team a little bit of a spark from Malachi Nelson.
Bulldogs starting to shoot it a little bit better. 4 of their last 5. ACU hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes, but still hold that 21-point lead. Missed free throw from Nelson. Rebounded by Hornecker, but taken away by Mark Wise, who gets the big man for the Wildcats to knock it out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get back possession.
Yeah, just a sneaky nice play from Wise there.
Put this one into Jenkins. Back up top to Gill. Gill driving, loses control. Stolen by Sibo Newton, running in transition, and a pass behind Christian Alston. The one-hand shove kind of got away from him, and a turnover from the Wildcats.
Yeah, just trying to go too fast. Again, the pace is a really fine line that I think this Wildcats team is going to struggle to walk down the stretch and through this season. They want to play fast, but if you play too fast, that's not going to help you more than it's going to harm you. And it's just an awareness and a maturity thing of knowing when to slow it down, when to push the tempo, and that's something that they're learning, and they're wrinkling out, or they're ironing out those wrinkles early in the season.
Bulldogs trying to stay hot from the field. Step back jumper, Mark Wise from behind the free throw line. It's no good. Cade Hornecker diving on the floor, getting it to his guard, Tyler Lewis, and a nice bounce pass and a baseline cut from Christian Alston.
A no-look pass from the freshman guard opened up that shot for Alston. He looked up towards the free throw line. I believe it's Sibo Newton, and then dished it down low to the baseline to Alston and had him wide open for the dunk.
Alston's first points of the night. The assist from Tylen Lewis. Lewis, a guy that Coach Tanner believes can be extremely helpful down the stretch, especially in conference play. He's got some work to do. He's just a freshman, but really believes in this guy and thinks that he can be a key player, both distributing the ball with assists and also even scoring as well.
Yeah, he's an athletic kid. I mean, a really nice build on him. He's got 3 assists already today and was fantastic in high school.
The hair, he kind of reminds me of Johnny Juzang from that UCLA team a couple of years ago. Lewis with the ball, almost stolen, but good hustle to get it back. Gets it to Vincent, who swings it over to Alston. Alston going to work one-on-one against Doppelchain. We'll kick it back out and reset the offense. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tylen Lewis bounce inside. Mashai Hill kicked out to Sibo Newton. Newton's going to take the 3 with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. An offensive rebound, but just out of the hands of Alston. And a nice steal here from Newton. Newton in transition, 1-on-2, goes right between them and lays it in for 2 points.
Yeah, Newton out of Grambling State, a really nice portal find for Coach Tanner. He's a guy who can be a high flyer for you, but then can also run the point and distribute if you're lacking a little bit of depth. We've seen some of that today. No Rich Smith, but again, just a nice high flying play there from Sibo Newton.
We've seen a couple big games from Newton. Omaha, he had double figures. Stephen F. Austin, 12 points, 8 rebounds. That right there was his first points of the game. A couple of subs, one from each team. With just under 5 left to play, ACU with a comfortable 25-point lead.
Yeah, really, came to work in that second half. They didn't play a clean first half. I'm sure Brett Tanner would say that in his presser after the game, and a much better adjustment in half number 2.
What a shot there from Aaron Wright. It's the 3 ball to go. Right up to 14 points. ACU back on offense. Driving baseline is Zai Wright. Gets his own rebound. Tylen Lewis, pump fake. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Handed back to Lewis. Trying to go. Kicks it out. A wide open 3 from Vince Zant, but no good. And another offensive rebound by the Wildcats. Shot clock resets. Get to run a little bit more time off that game clock.
And the roster says he's a freshman, but Tylen Lewis really does not play like one. He's very, slow to the game, very mature, and just knows where to go with the ball.
The Wildcats now with 12 offensive rebounds make that 13 after Sibo Newton gets it back, and the nice little left-handed floater from the short corner, it falls through.
Hand down, man down. I believe that was Gill on the baseline there, just got caught with his hands not in the face of Newton, and he made him pay.
We're under 4 here in Abilene, Texas. Our final media timeout on the floor. We'll take one here as well. 77-53, the lead for the Abilene Christian Wildcats. There's a look at Moody Coliseum as the sun is setting on this beautiful Black Friday afternoon. The Wildcats lead. They come from the Western Athletic Conference. Let's take a quick look around the WAC. A couple more teams out of the conference playing here on Black Friday. Southern Utah at Robert Morris. They fall. They lose that game 61-54. And then Tarleton State taking on Midwestern State. And they trail by 11 points at halftime. 36-25 your score with MSU leading the Texans.
A couple of good tests for both the WAC squads there. It's Western Athletic Conference that has almost a new life as we begin this season. No Grand Canyon, no Seattle U this season. It opens it up a little bit in terms of, the biggest school in the conference by miles in Grand Canyon. No longer there, no longer kind of beating down on everyone else. And you also get the morale boost of, hey, you don't have to go up to Seattle this season. That terrible road trip and a terrible just travel inconvenience for every squad in the conference.
Yeah, still schools in Texas, Utah, and then California with California Baptist. We expect it to be a competitive conference in the WAC. CBU picked to win in the preseason. Utah Valley second. ACU, the Wildcats that we're seeing here today, picked to finish third. But really, it's a wide open conference, and anyone could get that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Something that I know Coach Tanner is definitely thinking about. He'd love to get back there just like they did back in 2021. And Roman, this season, it's a good start. 3-0 at home so far, looking to go 4-0. That'll be their best home record, at least start the season, since they went to that tournament last in 2021, which led to a win over Texas. And so good signs to come for the Wildcats.
And a great sign there. I mean, Zai Wright just knocking down a shot. Not this fastest start to this game as he probably would have liked, but he's really come on in the second half.
Yeah, up to 13 points now, 5 for 7 from the field. He's got 8 rebounds as well. He's knocking on the door of a double-double, and then he gets fouled. He's just trying to chase that one into the backcourt. That foul committed by Noel Duplechain. Duplechain's 4th of the evening.
And that's going to be shots. I mean, in no way was that a play on the ball. A fantastic look from Zai right there, and he was happy about it. I mean, take a look at it here, an aggressive poke away, and he's not upset he's getting grabbed. He's immediately, come on, let's go. His team building some momentum and really heading in the right direction. Just a lot of ball-hungry players from Brett Tanner's squad.
Absolutely. He wants to see competitive players that fly around the court. That bids well for the defense that he likes to run, and it's translated to points so far this season. And Zai Wright goes 2 for 2 from the line, now 4 for 4 on the day. This is an ACU squad that has averaged 72 points a game, and their defense has been kind of up and down, though. Brett Tanner, obviously, his defense is what he kind of really hangs his head on, and this can be a really competitive Wildcat team, especially when they're forcing a lot of turnovers. We saw earlier this week they gave up the fewest points allowed to a team against UTSA since, over the last 2 years. They allowed just 50 points, and then turn around the next day, play a William and Mary squad that runs a tough, very quick style of offense, kind of copycat of the Princeton style of offense. That's where their head coach went to school, and they allowed 92 points, which was the most that they had allowed since last December. So kind of both sides of the story there. Good defense, then bad defense, and now here today, especially in the second half, we've seen the Wildcat defense we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and I talked to Braden Hubbard about that a couple of weeks ago because he struggled to pick up this defense when he transferred here last year here to ACU. And he said that he's seen the guys really pick up on it well, but that's just the learning curve that Brett Tanner's defense has. No matter who you are, how talented you are, it's a tough defense to play. He wants you to be, practically on top of your man the entire time defensively, and you're just flying around adapting to what the offense is going to do. If they're going to run a faster paced team like we saw with William and Mary, that's going to be a really tough matchup. It's going to be exhausting, and you just got to be ready for it, but this is a good sign for this ACU team.
And there's another nice dish from Tylen Lewis inside to Mashai Hill. Hill and Horniker kind of battling it out to be that 5 spot to start at least for the Wildcats, and Mashai Hill up to 6 points.
And I think it's going to be a really interesting Wildcat team this season because they've got a few centers that they can really rely on. Hill's been on the roster a couple of years, hasn't quite peaked yet. They're really happy with what they've seen from him so far. A lot of size from him, and then Hornecker and even Joseph Scott. I mean, against McMurray, he had 16 and 17 points and rebounds. That's just a fantastic effort from him. Of course, he's not suited up today.
Yeah, Joe Scott, a 6'9" forward who is leading the team in rebounds per game. Here's a 3 from Tylen Lewis. It's no good. It's going out of bounds. Saved back into the hands. Carrillo for 3, no good. Another offensive board, and Zai Wright with the putback.
And Zai Wright really coming on strong in this second half, doing everything. A little bit of boards, a little bit of turnovers, and then just getting to the rack and scoring.
There's a 3 ball. It's no good. Rebounded by Isaac Dye. Got a young squad in for the Wildcats now. And seeing that, Coach Tanner's going to call a timeout.
I think he just wanted to get Christian Alston back in his game, probably run a couple of sets that he wants to see just how they executed here.
Go ahead and continue back to play. 1:22 left to go. Tylen Lewis on the floor with Christian Alston, Mashai Hill, Isaac Dye, and Isaiah Carrillo. Tylen Lewis goes up, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Now, Lewis, distributor, we've seen a lot of that, really racking up the assists here tonight, but also just a play creator. Knows how to get to the rack and get someone to score. He had 6 points against McMurray. That's his season high, but came on just 17 points. And, considers himself a defensive first guy, so the fact that he's having this offensive success really goes to show, the development Coach Tanner's putting into the squad and his younger guys, but then also just what these reps are doing.
Lewis originally from Nashville, Tennessee. 86-53 the score as we approach 1 minute remaining in this game. Friday afternoon, Wildcats and Bulldogs. Going to work is Derek Rhodes II. He just pulls up for his own jumper, and it's no good. Tipped by Mashai Hill into the hands of Carrillo, who brings it down, kicks it to Lewis. 24 seconds separating the game clock and shot clock. A quick 3 from Dye, no good. Lewis with the rebound. ACU continuing to attack the boards, especially offensively, as Alston spins. Just off the front iron is his shot, and yet another rebound offensively. Shy Hill bumps into some contact, and shot no good, but he'll go to the line.
And a nice possession there for Abilene Christian with just what they're seeing out of their freshmen. I mean, you have 3 freshmen on the floor, and they're all being productive. They're putting shots up, they're finding the open man, and then they're getting the offensive rebounds. And then, shot creating as Dye found Hill. That's a really good sign for this program.
Really good game for both these teams. Seeing some things they needed to see. Of course, Jarvis Christian going right back into conference play on Tuesday. They'll be at Texas A&M Texarkana And then ACU gets the entire month of December to continue to work out some kinks, but they play a tough schedule. And it was good to see some younger guys get some time and really play well for the Wildcats in the second half.
Yeah, I'll be really curious to see how both of these teams continue to grow. It's a Jarvis Christian squad that played a fantastic first half and didn't quite have it in the second half, but you kept it really competitive for 20 minutes of this ball game. And now you go into conference play, you should be at a really high level, even just with the speed and the physicality that they've had to deal with tonight, jumping back in. If you can play like they have tonight in conference, they're going to be really successful. And they weren't quite picked to do that in the preseason poll, but maybe going to turn some heads and shock some people with head coach Kelvin Gaines.
It's kind of hard to know what you're going to get from the Bulldogs when you have a first-year head coach in Kelvin Gaines, basically a brand-new roster, just 3 returners who really don't get to play a whole lot. Now you see Antonio Adams at the line. Zy Wright just came back into the ballgame for the Wildcats. He's got a double-double, 17 points and 10 rebounds. Zy Wright with his season high. He was previously 13 against McMurray, but a nice 17-point performance from him here this afternoon. Ball tipped out of bounds. Shot clock no longer in play. 14 seconds remaining. Bulldogs with the basketball. Going to work is Randolph Charles, who's seen his first few minutes of the night. And he gets fouled by Isaiah Carrillo. Charles, the senior guard from the Bronx, New York, transferred from Cheney University.
Randolph Charles at the line for the Bulldogs.
A chance at a couple of free throws here. The first one is good.
And I really liked what I've seen from Jarvis Christian in this ballgame. They were really in it in that first half, really tested this Abilene Christian squad, and then came out a little bit flat here, but that's to be expected. And ultimately still put up a good fight. Saw some guys really show some bright spots in half number 2 and head into conference play, a really good spot.
Isaiah Carrillo is going to be able to dribble this one out. That'll bring us to zeros on the clock. The final score, Wildcats 87, Bulldogs 55. It was a great first half performance, very competitive basketball game, but ACU came out of the halfway point and really just dominated. They got to the game that they wanted to play. They controlled the tempo and played a really good second half of basketball.
Yeah, and you see the coaches embracing there. Brett Tanner looks really impressed with his counterpart there, and just what was a great game for both these teams. First half for one, second half for the other. It came down to the adjustments. The Wildcats come out on top with a really nice squad, and they're going to head into a gauntlet with a nice win under their belt.
Yeah, tough December schedule coming up for ACU. Credit to Coach Kelvin Gaines, who's getting his guys ready for conference play. 1-0 already in the Red River Athletic Conference. Looking to continue that success next week. As we look at our final stats for today's game here on Black Friday, ACU getting the better end of Jarvis Christian, scoring 48 points in that second half, but a phenomenal performance from both Braden Hubbard and Zy Wright.
Yeah, no Abukar Cisse today for the Bulldogs, and he's been one of the leading scorers. It showed, probably wish you had his contributions, but Braden Hubbard and Zy Wright really had takeover games. 2 double-doubles for this Abilene Christian squad. Got a lot from Tylen Lewis and some of their freshmen as well. I mean, a really nice day from Isaac Dye as well. They're just ramping up, getting ready for WAC play coming up in about a month now, and Jarvis Christian heading right back into the teeth of the Red River Conference.
Absolutely. That's your final stats presented by Domino's. Wildcats and Bulldogs, ACU 87, Jarvis Christian 55. Great to have you join us here this afternoon from Tyler Hatfield and the rest of the ACUTV crew. Roman Raffelli, I'm Jaden West. Take care, be safe, good night, and happy holidays.